Good afternoon, morning, whatever time it is where you are. Back on live again for my regular slot on a Thursday. And I'm really excited to talk to everybody today. So I'm just going to make sure we're getting shared on all devices and all the kind of things we have to do. I really admire these people who come on and do lives. And they're all glamorous and they're all efficient and they're all, looking super duper organised. And no matter how I seem to come on live, I always seem to end up flapping around with technology for a minute while I get everything up and running. I say flapping, obviously it's a necessity. So I'm really excited to see who comes on today, and because I've got something really important to share that I'm really excited about. I've got lots of things coming up. I've got some really important training I'm going to release at the end of this live. Free training that you can go away and use straight away. So I'm just going to make sure I'm up and running and live on all platforms while I get going. So yeah, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Faye Semple and I am the Spiritual Geomancer. Now, what is a spiritual geomancer? A geomancer is someone who works with the flows of energy in the landscape. Some people will be familiar with the term earth energies and be attracted to sacred sites and all those kind of things. There's this element, isn't there, of some magic, some lost knowledge, something that we were trying to achieve or do in these places. And I'm sure we've all been to places that feel really special and sacred. So a geomancer, as I am, is someone who is concerned with understanding these flows of energy in the landscape, how they physically affect us and our reality. There is usually the right time, the right place, with the right purpose, we can achieve wonders. So it's about working in synchronicity with our environment. So that's the role of the geomancer, but I'm also very much involved with working with nature spirits, guides, elemental beings, all those non-physical beings, and I've pulled the two together in what I call spiritual geomancy. And basically it works like magic, which is why I see there's secret magic in the landscape. So this is Reconnect TV. This is my regular slot on a Thursday. So today I want to talk to you about this secret kind of magic that is all around us, that was actually taught in the ancient schools of magic and mystery, if you like, but is sadly lacking in so much of the material we see nowadays on manifestation. We're all very familiar with the work of Abraham Hicks and The Secret, Rhonda Byrne, all those kind of things. And many people have come through to this law of attraction, the laws of manifestation, through personal development work and through coaching work and wanting to grow and thrive and all the rest of it, which is absolutely fantastic. But there are some fundamental truths missing in the modern teachings, and that relates to our connection to our environment. So I'm not going to go into great detail, but sorry, I've got an itchy nose today. But we human beings nowadays have this idea that we are somehow separate from the world out there. I am a separate entity and all that's going on out there. Nature is out there, the world is out there, and this is me and I'm separate. But actually that's not the case. You know, our physiology, our moods, our mindset are all influenced by what's out there. And we ourselves, of course, are nature. We are a natural being. We're made of the same things as plants, the birds, the stars, the universe. We are all made of the same stardust. That is the universe. And that means we're all intimately connected to it. And we perceive that the outer, this is where my body finishes, here, right on the skin, on the outside, that's the outside of me. That is not the case either. Our mind feels, the thoughts of our mind, we know they're measurable, they can extend to the farthest reaches of the universe. And we know that, and biologically, the environment that we live in is actually more our extended body than separate from us. The very microbes and organisms in our body come from outside, and in fact, the current pandemic, if you like, is symptomatic of an inflamed lifestyle, an inflamed society, and many people's illnesses mirror that inflammation. So it's really important with the pandemic, as we're experiencing at the moment, that we wake up to new ways of existing, to new ways of being, because the society that we've had serves neither us nor the planet. And we really need to embrace this new paradigm, the opportunities that the pandemic has given us to look at different ways of being. And I'm actually passionate about that. I'm passionate about people working in synchronicity with the forces of the earth, with the cosmos, with nature. And it's not all woo and wishy-washy. It's far from woo. It's biophilia, it's quantum physics, it's all the things that science study, but I just happen to have come at it from the two ways. I've come at it from a spiritual way and I've come at it from a scientific way. And I say the problem that a lot of people have with the law of manifestation, the law of attraction, is that they've only come at it from one route. They've come at it through Abraham Hicks and The Secret and those kinds of information, but there are fundamental truths missing in those teachings that were taught in the more ancient forms of manifestation. So if you're struggling to make it work for you, it's not your fault. And I say there is this culture of sort of spiritual poverty that's about now, that if manifestation isn't working for you, it's because you're not going deep enough. You're not going into your emotions, your thoughts enough. You know, we are totally responsible for manifesting our reality. But there are many forces that interplay with our reality. I may have one intention for my life, but somebody else may have another. And okay, they don't have the overriding say in the matter, but we are still influenced by a lot of other things in our world. And one of those particularly is our environment. It's the energy flows in our environment. Now, if you are not as happy, as wealthy, or as healthy, or as abundant as you want to be, it can be that your environment, shockingly, can be the thing that's holding you back. Now, we talk about the law of attraction as if everybody applied themselves equally, everybody should have an equal amount of success. Now, because we haven't, this is where this spiritual poverty comes from. It's like, well, this person was able to escape those dire upbringings and do this, so therefore everybody should be able to do it. That's actually a false standard, as I say, because the ancient forms of manifestation were taught over many periods of time, and the environment was taken into account. And it wasn't something that we were all supposed to be able to do instantly. So, and there is an element of what in the older teachings about, like I said, I've talked about this before, our karma, what we came in to achieve, our dharma, our karma, the lessons we came in to deal with, our dharma as our life's path, what we came in to do, and good old Lady Luck, the goddess Luck, also plays her role in things, and none of that is taken into account in the current teachings on manifestation. But I specialise particularly in pulling all that together, and your environment is incredibly important, all that. So shockingly, your environment can be holding you back from manifesting the things that you want. It's part of your reality. If you're in an environment where the energy is blocked and stuck and not thriving, then this hidden magic, this hidden secret energy of abundance cannot pull in what you want. And we are surrounded by hidden energy. That when we talk about energy, people have this woo-woo concept of energy. We don't really know what it is. It's all a bit mystical, it's all a bit magical, a little bit woo. You know, it's not woo if you read some books. You know, we are surrounded by energy fields. Between me and you now is a plethora of measurable energy fields that are emitted from the earth. They come from the moon, they come from the sun, they come from us, they come from the person standing next to us, they come from our building, they come from our Wi-Fi, they come from absolutely everything around us emits energy. Everything. What they are called is fields, which is basically a range of influence from that thing. So my aura is an energy field. But your telly has an energy field. Your sofa has an energy field. The air between me and you right now is full of energy fields. But sometimes, just like ours, they can become stuck and they can become blocked. So when the meridians in our body or other energy fields get blocked, we become gradually over time or even rapidly ill. It starts off with feeling not too tickety-boo, and gradually it becomes manifest as illness in our physical body as that energy block gets closer and closer to the physical domain, and eventually we become ill. So negative thoughts and nasty emotions that we hold out there in our energy fields eventually will come back and bite us on the bum if we don't deal with them. And your environment is exactly the same. Now, in natural environments where there aren't man-made and built-up areas and all those kind of things, the energy flows much more freely. And in modern society, we are extremely good through our infrastructure of roads and buildings of completely blocking all those channels of free-flowing energy because we cease to take account of them in modern society. Now, it's not too long ago that we did take account of them. It's really only happened since industrial society came about, so in the last few hundred years. Before that, we recognised the sanctity in our landscape, and we recognised there were sacred places. Sedona, Stonehenge, Machu Picchu, the pyramids, Göbekli Tepe, all these ancient sacred sites capitalise on certain energy features in certain locations where a culmination of energy features come together and make it special. Now, you don't have to have those combinations of energy directly in your house to capitalise on all those energies. Every bit of the world is sacred. No matter where you live, you might live at the top of a huge multi-storey building. You might live in a little tin shack. You might live in a beach hut. You might live in a mansion, but you're still not happy there. You might live in a place that you love because it feels so special. All energy can be enhanced and worked upon. Now, this is the energy that will allow us to attract in abundance, because it's the energy that our intention needs to get out there, out of our own head and into the wider universal forces. I've explained it like this. When we have an intention, we're practicing the law of attraction, we're journaling, we're visualizing, we've got a lovely vision board, we're keeping the faith, we're trying to keep high vibe, we're doing all these things, we've done all the inner work, which of course is incredibly important. We can't just expect abundance if we're riddled with guilt and shame and self-loathing and all those kind of lovely human emotions that so many of us have experienced. We can't attract abundance with all that inside us. But when you've done an awful lot of that and you're ready and still nothing happens, it's like tumbleweed, crickets, you know, and you're waiting, you're thinking, what else do I need to do? That is usually your environment blocking it, because your intention is like a seed. And when you create that intention, you are planting it into this energetic matrix that is the world. But if you plant it into a desert environment, it's never going to grow. If you implant it into fertile energy that's free-flowing and already abundant, then that dream can grow and it will attract in what you want. So, energy works. I was going to try and be brief today, but everybody knows me. I go on for, I can't go on. So I want to talk to you about the 4 ways fundamentally to work with energy, and I've got some really exciting free training to give you at the end in 4 free video workshops, so you can go away and you can try some of this in the freedom of your own home, absolutely free. It doesn't cost you a penny. You've just got to give it a go and see what happens. So, as I say, your environment, believe it or not, has the capacity to attract or repel everything that you want. And it does this, say, by acting like a fertile environment. So this is the missing link from all the law of attraction and manifestation, because all that material says we've just got to think good thoughts. And when we think good thoughts and we're in the vortex, then it will come to us. It's not actually that simple. And this isn't just my opinion. This is the opinion of many other spiritual teachers and people who come from a more mystic and magical school. We are a little disconcerted, discombobulated, if you like, by some of the modern teachings, because it's setting people up for failure. So your energy can either attract or repel what you want. It can allow it to free flow in, or it can actually be pushing it away. Now, where you live, everywhere where you live is sacred. I can't see any comments, by the way. So think about it this way. Where you live right now, how does it make you feel? So your environment or your building, your apartment block, the town where you live, how does it make you feel? I know we're in the middle of a pandemic and things are really strange at the moment, but generally, how does it make you feel? When you think about your home, do you light it with joy? Does it feel like a sanctuary? Does it feel like, oh God, I love getting home and it's all neat and it's all tidy and it's all wonderful and I love it? Or does your heart sink and you go, oh my God, there's bits falling off everywhere and it's a constant state of clutter and I've got piles of paperwork everywhere that I just can't seem to get to, and it's always noisy and you know, how does your home feel? Let me know with an emoji. Put an emoji or a comment. Let me know how you feel about your home, Jackie. Oh, you love your home. That's great. Not everybody does, and some people, you know, some people get to choose where they live because they can buy a house and they're very lucky, like I am. And some people, I have been in before, been in social housing, so you don't get to choose where you live. You don't get to choose your neighbours. The buildings aren't necessarily as, you know, let's face it, they're not as good, they're not as well kept, they're not as, you know, so your environment has a huge impact on your mental and emotional well-being as well. And obviously when you're in things like social housing, or you're lower down the property market in every culture, you know, the Western world particularly, then you are in danger of falling into the very real poverty trap, which also the law of attraction and stuff never really talks about, where the odds are definitely stacked against you to get out of things like that. So you really have to capitalise on your environment and make it supportive for you in those circumstances. So there are, if you like, wherever you live, 4 basic energy, if you like, personalities, shall we call them. And this is because there are fundamentally 2 different, let's put it this way, 2 different types of broad energy spectrums. Let's call one masculine, yang, fire, whatever you want to call it, but it's think of the feng shui dragons. You have a red dragon and a blue dragon. So one of them's a red dragon. One's fiery, full of oomph, and can be quite aggressive, and he's forceful and dynamic, and that would be the red dragon, the masculine, the yang. And then you've got the other type of energy, and that's the blue dragon. That's water, that's feminine, that's more intuitive, that's more listening, doesn't take such aggressive action, sort of says what she wants and wait for it to come, you know, waiting to be worshipped, you know, no need to hustle, no need to push, everything will just flow. So you have these 2 types of energy doing this dance. Now when they're both dancing together, that means you feel great internally and your external world is brilliant. So you could be living in different combinations of those energies. Now if your yang energy gets blocked, but your yin energy, the yang, the masculine, gets blocked, but your yin is fully functioning, then you can feel great personally, feel really tickety-boo, but you can absolutely fail to manifest any kind of outside abundance in the world. So money, love, the nice house, the physical things from out there in the go-getting world, you can't manifest. So you tend to find households where everybody's really, really happy, but they've got very little, but they're really, really happy. Then you can have the flip side. So people who live in an abundant mansion, they've got everything they could possibly want, and inside they're bloody dying with unhappiness. So that's one of the ways it can manifest. Then you can have both blocked. So you've got a really scarce and less than abundant physical world, and you feel pretty shit inside too. You've got low self-worth, poor everything, you know, can't see a way out. And then on the conversely then, of course, they can both be free flowing, and you can attract abundance. You feel confident, you feel at ease. Things come to you easily because both of these dragons are flowing. So there are 4 basic energy personality environments that you can be living. So, and these can flare up. They change at different times of the year as different energies ebbs and flow with the spring, summer and autumn, winter. There are ebbs and flows. So sometimes of the year your house can feel worse than others. And this is also influenced by lunar cycles. And all these fields are in fact measurable. This isn't woo, this isn't superstition. This is the effect of electromagnetic fields of the earth that in ancient times we personified as dragons and worms and all those kind of things, because it helped us make sense of them in that way. So, you know, we are intimately, as I say, connected to these electromagnetic fields. Now, the common one that we all know about, most people know about, is what they call the Schumann resonance. This is one particular resonance. So there's the earth, there's electromagnetic frequency that does this. It actually mirrors our brainwaves. Our brains, our physical brainwaves, are designed to function within that parameter. We have evolved to live on planet Earth. Now, in the last few years, the Schumann resonance has been having massive spikes. It used to be at about 7.3 hertz and it went up to 11, and now it has huge spikes. On those days when it has huge spikes, we are mentally affected. We can feel discombobulated, depressed, uncertain, bit rocky, bit shaky, not quite sure why. When you know it's, and this is the planet, if you like, this is the effect of the planet raising its vibration, which we talk about through the ascension and through the age of Aquarius. So these raising of their vibrations are not just woo, they are actually happening physically. So we as a people are being called to raise our vibration. And I know I say, and what I'm particularly keen on is people understanding what this actually means. As I say, there's all this is missing from the law of attraction. So when you're feeling down, the law of attraction then say, well, you know, you need to look inward and see what you've not addressed and what this problem is. But actually these things can be outside of us. And there's nothing we can do about it but go along with the ride. But it's better to go along the ride when we're fit and healthy and we understand what's going on. So let me see. Let me have a look at the comments very, very quickly. If not very quickly. Project something breaks and little things. Rise the basement flooded. Yeah, things going wrong in the home. And that is really symptomatic of a blocked energy, and particularly when it's water problems. So things like flooding, blocked drains, your washing machine suddenly decides to dump all its water on the floor, showers leaking. They are indicative of blockages in the yin water energy. Now, above ground water, the water in your home, will actually mirror in behaviours the water that's deep underground. Again, this isn't woo, this is measurable. And we ourselves are also deeply affected by underground water. The presence of underground water, again, actually affects our brainwaves and it affects our physiology. Because, you know, as a species, when we're evolving, if we have water that we have to find to keep ourselves alive, and you don't want to be drinking out of rivers, because people say, oh, there's rivers everywhere. Well, you don't know what's dead and floating downstream, do you? Up further, so do you really want to drink that water? The best water to drink is from underground. So we would need to find natural springs, or we would need to know where we could hit by digging down an underground flow of water. So therefore, we have to become sensitive to the presence of underground water. We've all seen pictures of elephants in Africa, haven't we? Walking over a desert and all of a sudden they start digging a hole. Lo and behold, there's water. This is how water divining actually works. This is how I started. I started off, well, I didn't start. One of the things I used to do was water dowsing, because I'm very sensitive to the presence of underground water, and I can actually see, because I see energy, I can see where water is under the ground. I can see the energetic emanation that comes out. And depending on the height and strength of these emanations will be how badly you are affected in your home and how sensitive you are to these things. So the presence of underground water is incredibly important. So, as I say, your environment, point one, can attract or repel everything you're trying so bloody hard to do with your journaling and manifestation and law of attraction and your business planning and everything, and you're putting your heart and soul into it. But if your energy is, if your environment is blocked, your intention is not going to go anywhere and you're not going to attract everything. And there are 4 different types of personality. As I said, there are 4 different basic combinations of energy. You feel good inside, your outside's good. Your outside may be great, got everything you think you could want, but then you feel terrible inside. And we all know film stars, don't we, and rich people that have seem to have all the trappings of everything, live in wonderful places and then have killed themselves. Or you can feel absolutely brilliant, be so happy that be living in such a poor, physically poor life, but you're still really, really happy. Or you can have squat diddly inside and outside. So that's the 4 different energy types. But there are things that you can do to affect all this. Now, Feng Shui is is the Eastern form of geomancy, and there are very quick hacks that you can do to help alleviate some of these. So if you've got problems with money, for instance, you'd need to be working straight away on the wealth and prosperity area of your home. If you've got health problems, you need to be working very quickly on the health area of your home. But generally, you also need to be looking after your home or your office. It needs to be clean, it needs to be tidy, you need to repair it. Decluttering has a massive effect on energy, believe it or not. Now, a little thing that I found out years ago when I used to work, and I still do, I work and help people build modern day stone circles, believe it or not. It's great fun. But the thing that we have found by looking at these archaeologically is that, considering they're really old, there is a complete absence of any pottery or remains within them. And we know, because they found shards of pottery, that ancient man, to activate energy, used to use pottery and break things. And actually, there's another thing that I work with, this like ancient alchemy of creation using sound and real magical woo stuff, which I teach on my courses about how to build power centers. But what we found was archaeologically that they may have gone in there and made sounds and rung the stones and broke things. They did used to strike the stones to make sound. They had a ringing noise. You can see where a lot of them have been struck. But when they left any debris in there, they meticulously cleaned it all up afterwards and decluttered stone circles. So Marie Kondo would be extremely pleased. So it's really important to declutter your home. Work out what area in your life is being affected. Is it family, wealth and prosperity? Is it career? Is it health? And use that area within your home, the Feng Shui Bagua map. And I use the traditional Bagua map, which is connected to the cardinal points, north, south, east and west, because energy flows and meridians within the earth are organised north, south, east and west because of the magnetic poles and the spin of the earth. This is physics. And finally, you can work very intentionally with this energy. We are in an extremely humbling position. We have massively desecrated our energetic environment with our modern society. When industrial society came about and religion and science took two very different routes. So we lost, when science took over the sort of natural world and saw it as a set of resources, we lost the view that there was divinity in nature, and it lost its sacredness. And then religion lost nature as part of its remit, and really religion became concentrated on the centre of the soul. And we no longer saw animals as having souls, and we no longer saw trees as being an expression of God or divinity or source. They all just became, in the scientific view, nothing with any consciousness and just matter, not aware of anything. I fundamentally disagree with this because I work with elemental beings, nature spirits, the consciousness of nature, and also there are spirits of your business, there are spirits of human activity, there are spirits of human societies, cities, everything. And when you start to work with these, you realise that unconsciously we have desecrated our natural environment and really pissed on our own doorstep. You know, we have actually shat in our own back garden the way we've treated the world, and it is shockingly bad. But we have absolute power to bring it back again. But it's actually a very humbling position because we have to co-create with these beings. And once you acknowledge them and start to work with them, then that makes a tremendous difference to what you can manifest. Don't cover all of this in all my programs, but what I have got for you is some updated video workshops, which I will be posting the link to. So I have got 4 free video workshops that you can use to understand how your environment is attracting or repelling abundance, how you can identify which energy environment you are living in, some quick hacks that you can use to bring in more wealth and prosperity, particularly in your life, because actually this is the one thing with the pandemic and the economic changes that people really need to understand. And you might think, oh, but I'm not in control of my environment. But yes, you bloody well are. You are in control of your environment and you are in control of your economy. Absolutely. It's a story that we are being subjected to all this stuff. Now, we can either buy into that or we can ignore it. So there are 4 free updated workshops, and the final one, then it looks at how you can intentionally work with these energies. What do you need to do? Obviously, you can work with me, and that's an option. So this will lead you into understanding all about the program that I'm about to launch, which is Abundance Energy Academy. Now, this is for people who have tried everything with the law of attraction, journaling, etc., and it's still not working. But the 4 free video workshops are there for you to start with. I've also got a guide that's called Activating the Energy of Abundance in Your Life, and I will put all the links up. So over the coming weeks, if anybody's on my wailing list, I wouldn't go have a wailing list, my mailing list, but I do love women who come on and do lives and they're all glamorous and they're all, you know, everything works fine, and yeah, doesn't it? You know, yeah, I'll get there one day. So it's all to do with working with this energy, and I will be releasing these workshops actually probably not until next week on Monday, and then they will be released over a period of days, so you've got time to actually work with them. And I would love you to join my group, Divine Feminine CEOs. I would love to get your feedback on these. They're an updated version of something that I've run before, and the Abundance Energy Academy that will be open soon again has been updated, revamped, got more material than you had before, but for exactly the same price. Yay! Because, you know, times are tough for many people. It is an investment, obviously, but it is, I can guarantee now, if you're trying everything to manifest the life that you want and it is not working, or it's a bit hit and miss, then you really need to look at the energy in your environment. Now, I'm sure we've all lived in places that we feel great, and all lived in places where sometimes it's good, and all lived in places where I think, God, I don't want to live here. Or we've looked at houses, you know, we're looking at houses, you walked in the door and you go, whoa, no, thank you. There is that feel, there is that energy, and it's very real. Do not discount that. Our hind brain, our ancient reptilian brain, is hardwired to pick up on this stuff, because it can be a matter of life and death. And geomancy, working with earth energy, is all about creating health and harvest. Those are its two fundamental principles: health in you, your family, your work, your spiritual life, your mental life, health in all aspects of your life, and harvest. It's the harvest of everything. It's the good harvest of food is one of the things I work with agriculture, but it's the harvest in your business. It's the harvest in your money. It's the harvest from your relationships. It is health and harvest in all areas of your life. Now, I know that not everybody is ready to commit to Sacred Feminine Living, which is my high-end one-to-one coaching. So therefore, Abundance Energy Academy is the group coaching program. Obviously, it doesn't contain all the material, but it's concentrated particularly on your environment and how to create a supportive environment that you can consciously work with, that will allow you to manifest and attract absolutely anything that you bloody want. Love, clients, money, whatever it may be. It is all there if you apply these techniques. You don't have to be gifted, you don't have to be a seer, plus you will get loads and loads of bonuses. But the first step is to work through the 4 videos that I'm going to be released, the 4 free video workshops, and see if it's for you, because I don't want to work with people who aren't a good fit. It's as simple as that, and you'll know that by working through these videos. And I would say, if you've come across this, take it as the universe showing you synchronicity, that it's your time, that it's you know, people come up in front of us at the right opportunity. Synchronicity is a marvelous thing. Now, if I've popped up in front of you, I would say that's a synchronistic happening, and it's not for me to decide what you want to do with that, but it is for you to decide whether you want to take that any further or whether you want to miss the opportunity. So I'm going to be posting the links to the video. If you want to get on my mailing list, let me know, but I'll also put the link above to the Activate the Energy of Abundance in Your Life. And if you download that free guide, you will then get the videos anyway, and that will take you into how you can progress with this further. So I hope that's been clear. I've gone on a little bit longer than I thought. I always do. Timekeeping. Once I get talking, can't stop. Verbal diarrhea. Right. So I hope that this has resonated with you. If it has, because I've lived in houses where every little thing went wrong until I cleared the energy, and then it was brilliant. And now I help people sell houses and all sorts of things. Well, I don't do so much that now. I don't really take on private clients so much anymore. But I work with the 2 programs, which is the one-to-one, which is really high-end, in-depth spiritual geomancy, and the Abundance Energy Academy, which is really just the principles of geomancy that you can all apply in your own home to work in synchronicity with your environment, so that when you're trying to manifest something, your environment is 100% behind you and with you. So I'll put the links in now. Oh God, I haven't refreshed my comments. If I didn't reply, I'm really sorry. Natalie, oh hi Natalie. I don't know whether you've seen the whole thing now. Oh, and Facebook's just crashed. I don't know whether you've seen the whole thing, but I say I've got 4 free workshops coming, but you'll see that. And why isn't this reloading? I'm really sorry, Facebook's just thrown a wobbler on me. So if I've missed your comments, I will reply. If you watched it live, great. And if you're watching it on replay, do comment. I will always get back to you. And I will post the link to the 4 free workshops any moment now when Facebook comes back alive. I will go and sort out this small technical glitch. So, right. I will see you all soon. Take care then. Bye.